Good morning, my fruity little wombats. How are you this morning? Just wanted to fire off this video in response to a Facebook post I just made about moving away from the innuendo driven posts I usually make and all the touchy feely stuff at work. Yeah, you know what I mean. I just wanted to touch on a few things. People go on about, oh, just be you, just be yourself, be who you are. I have a huge issue with that because if I let myself go completely, let's say I'd basically be completely alone right now. Because the problem with me is the real me. I can be, well, let's just say I can be extremely nasty. Well, you can see parts of that at work. And the real me has no filter. I have in the past, and it has got me into so much trouble. I used to speak my mind quite a lot, especially at school, growing up at school. The amount of times I used to be in detention for speaking my mind, making a comments at inappropriate times, and basically not giving a shit about what other people are going through or doing. So I cannot be the real me. It's impossible. Yes, there are some days that I just want to be alone. I just don't want to be around people. And the way I used to do that is I used to be downright rude to somebody. That's the way I used to get to be alone. But then you realise as you go through life, you can't be the real, authentic you, especially if you've got a really deep, dark side to yourself. Not as I mean in nasty, dark thoughts, it's just the way I am. If I totally let my guard down, let's just say nobody would ever talk to me. Because trust me, if you ever in the past, if you used to ever piss me off, let's just say toleration was not in my vocabulary years ago. If I didn't like you, I'd tell you I didn't like you. I'd even almost punch you. So it's all well and good people turning round and telling you to be your authentic self. I just cannot do that. I have to have some layers there that really I don't want people to dig into, because basically I can be a very nasty person. And I would say that it's taken me quite a few years to build up an awareness of other people's thoughts and how they're feeling. Because I used to be the most self-centered person going, but, well, I wouldn't say self-centered. Let's just say when I was in my teens, early teens, well, as I say, I went to boarding school, and in my teens, I was a very trusting person. Would help anybody out, have a laugh and a joke with people, help anyone out. To the fact that sometimes when my parents would pick me up from boarding school, come up to my dorm room and say, Richard, why is your combination lock on someone else's locker? Because I'd given it them because I thought, you haven't got a lock, so I'll give it you. And then fast forward to when I was 19 years old. That was back in 1993, and I was involved in a serious road accident. that totally fritzed my brain up and everything. And I would say I had undiagnosed PTSD, because what would happen when my mum would drive round the corner, I would literally almost jump out of the driver's seat. It's just that I never thought about it, because I don't really think about many things. And yeah, so, and then fast forward to 2017, and I had another, let's just say, something that altered my brain again completely. When you have a stroke, it totally just changes things. And since then, I don't really have any thoughts. As you know, I don't. In fact, no thoughts go through my head at all now. I just tend not to dwell on things. I tend to pretend that I'm upset by something because other people are upset by it. But genuinely, I don't think that way. Like, I'm just sitting here with this video and nothing's going through my mind at all. Nothing at all. In fact, if anything, I'm twitching at the moment because I made a post on Facebook, which is pretty frightening for me, because I use touchy-feely stuff as, I don't say as a coping mechanism, but as a way of trying to make other people laugh. And then I realised that, hang on a minute, some people are really, really getting uncomfortable with this. And in fact, I'm getting quite uncomfortable with it myself. Don't mind dropping a couple of few innuendos here and there, but as you've noticed, my Facebook post, YouTube shorts, over the past year or so have just been innuendo after innuendo. Oh, can I play with your boobies? Oh, can I sing a song about your hairy bumhole? And I realised now that has to go. I have to find another outlet to make me happy and to make other people happy. So, as I say, from the day I post this video, because this is quite a long video, this is going to go up on Facebook, YouTube, and possibly Instagram if reels are long enough. Won't go on TikTok because this is way too long for that. So it's quite scary trying to figure out how to have conversations with people, find some common ground, without trying to go up to someone and say, oh, you got lovely nipples. Doesn't make me feel uncomfortable, because I have no thoughts going through my head about things. But then I realise some people hate it. So, as from the day of this video, I'm going to try my hardest. Yeah, I'm going to make you laugh. I'm going to act like an idiot, but I'm not going to be a total utter twat and go and chase you around the warehouse going, oh, can I play with your bumhole and everything? Because, contrary to popular belief, I am not gay. Nothing wrong with that. I do have friends in the past that I've known who are gay, but I'm not one of them. I'm just one of these people that I push your buttons. If I know you're uncomfortable with something, I will push your buttons, push your buttons, push your buttons, push your buttons, until you react to me. And that's my signal to stop. That's in a good way, because I come across many people. I'm not going to mention any names. You can make any assumptions. Some people don't have an off button. They've got no empathy. They can't read body language. It takes a lot. It took me years to realise this, because I just didn't used to give a shit about what other people think. But since I've had these issues with my brain and everything, where I have to slow down, something switched on in my brain where I can tell when somebody's not very well. And what I tend to do is I tend to back off from people, because you can tell if somebody's going through a bad time. The last thing they want me is going up to them and saying, oh, can I play with your titties? Because I don't do small talk very well either. So whilst I empathise with a lot of people, when I say I know what you're going through with your mental health, because I sort of do, but I don't have the thoughts. I can just wake up one morning and just feel low. And I know that's mostly to do with how my brain now works, because there's nothing can be done. I can't take drugs to help my brain, because they won't work. They wouldn't work, because it's the way my brain is now wired up. So I don't purposefully go out and make people feel uncomfortable. I'm working on that. There's one of these traits that I've been working on for years and years and years. You know, you have all of these emotions, you know, they say get a handle on jealousy, rage, you know, the general things like that. There's only one emotion I've never ever managed to rein in, and that's my anger. Because as you know, at work, I can sometimes have a really, really short fuse. If some things are not going quite right, and you've got the people who don't have an off switch because they don't realise, because they can't read body language, I don't want you to piss off, because I don't want you near me, because I don't want you near me at that moment in time, because I might punch you. I'd rather smack a cage or do something than push somebody away. So if you see me in a moment at work of frustration, okay, yeah, sure, go and take me to one side, but don't try and make a laugh and a joke. Have a bit of empathy out there. So as I said, that post I made on Facebook, it is an end of an era. It's time to make you laugh without making you feel uncomfortable. So I won't be going round saying, oh, can I stroke your nipples? I won't be singing songs about hairy bum holes and titties anymore. Sure, I'll drop a few innuendos here and there just to lighten the mood, but I'm not going to go out of my way and say, oh, can I play with your boobies? Because I'm not going to do that anymore. Because to be frank, who's Frank? I don't know who Frank is, but to be frank, the way my head is right now, it takes one hell of a lot of effort to put a smile on my face. Because when I'm doing this video right now, just in the centre of my head there now, it's not a headache, it's just a nauseous feeling. I'm going to have to go and get some water in a minute. Just bear with me one moment. I'll be back in one moment. Pardon the rubbish behind if you can't see that. I'll be back in one moment. This is not going to be edited. This is going up as is. Oh, dearie me. Hopefully you enjoyed the shot of me chair. Do you like me chair? Brand new chair. GT Omega Ace. Do you know what? Back to where I was at, with the innuendos and stuff. As I say, it takes me a lot of effort to put on a smiley face. So I could just go to work every day and just be like this. Because that did happen one time at work. When I used to work the alternating early shifts, 2 weeks, a switch flipped in my brain. That's before I realised what was going on, basically. I just walked round like a zombie for literally 2 weeks, not talking to anybody, didn't want to talk to anybody. So that was a portent of what was going on at the time. So I'm still going to have a laugh and a joke, but it won't be the uncomfortable stuff. See, twitching, stuttering a bit at the moment, because I'm a little bit hyped actually. So as I say, going forward, I'm still going to try and make you laugh, but I'm not going to make you feel uncomfortable. There's going to be no more talk about bum holes and titties. Yeah, in passing there might be a few, innuendos, but thank you for watching this all the way through. I'm gonna do some more of these videos, because not every single video has to be me doing something. But even though I do have a few unboxing videos to do, they're coming up soon. But I'm digressing. Well, we can talk about that in another video. So hopefully I'm not going to say hopefully you enjoyed watching this video, but it's not a rant. It's just to say what's going to happen in future. So there you go. So wherever you're watching this, if you are watching this on the Facebook, please like it or give me a heart or whatever. Please feel free to share it. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please like the video, because it tells YouTube that you like, well, you don't necessarily like this video, but just want you to hear me out, and it helps. So if you can relate to everything I've said in here, pop a comment in the box below and let me know. And I look forward to reading your comments. That's if I can bring myself to read some, because sometimes when you do videos like this and sort of open yourself up, you do get some nasty comments from people who don't realise what you're going through. As I say, I cannot be the real authentic me. I have to have a firewall there, because otherwise I would just self-destruct, basically, because I do have periods of that as well. So anyway, I've carried on longer than I wanted to do. So as I say, if you're watching this on Facebook, give it a heart, share it. If you're watching this on YouTube, smash that like button. And if you feel like watching my other videos that are not as serious as this, hit the subscribe button. It'll take you a few seconds. It doesn't cost you anything, and it lets YouTube know that you're liking my content. Not necessarily enjoying this video, but enough of my ramblings. Peace, love, and sweaty armpits.